Yeah. Mm. All right. Well, I was just spinning, I guess, so I had to restart it. I had to restart it. Anytime they tell me it's just spinning, it means it's time to restart. Nice. I'm going to only give that worm on the bottom a few more minutes, and then we're going to switch to worm and bobber and cover some water with worm and a bobber. Because basically what'll happen is I'll throw it out there and I keep moving, so that'll just give me an opportunity to cover some more water. There are a couple fish jumping now though, but they're way out there further than I can cast though. Yeah, excited little fish jumping way out there. I'm hoping we're gonna get bites now that we're seeing some active fish. I don't know if we'll get anything though. I think instead of switching to a worm and a bobber, what we'll do is we'll cut off half that worm, and then that way it'll float up off the bottom more and give us more of a chance to get a fish. Don't get me wrong, we can catch these trout directly on the bottom, but you seem to catch more fish when you're up off the bottom. And one thing I noticed about my worm when I was throwing it out there, I was seeing if those fire eggs was gonna help it float, and it's not. So basically, the worm's too heavy for the power eggs. So if I really didn't take half the worm off, it might float then, which might give me more of a chance of getting a fish. So, and then if that don't work, we'll go ahead and we'll try the worm and bobber for a little bit, and try different power bait on the power bait rod. That way we're trying different things, and we're trying to increase our chances of catching a fish for you guys. I don't know if it's the cell service or I'm just not getting very many watches today. So far, it's been pretty slim on the watchers, but I don't mind that. I'm only gonna give that worm about another 3 minutes, and then I'm gonna reel it in, try it out. I know, right? Right. That's generally how it works with all fish. It seems like, they're up off the bottom instead of right on the bottom, like people would think that they are. So you see, by me having that worm right there on the bottom, it greatly decreases my chances of getting bit. So that's why I wanna. That's why I'm thinking about doing something different. Yep, sometimes that's fishing for you. See them all jumping all over the place and not a single bite. I've spent many a days out there on that Columbia River where I didn't know if I was going to get a bite or not. Yeah, I fish out here for crappies too in the springtime, summertime, and fall time. It's usually pretty good for crappie. But I mean, if I could do 50,000 casts today, I would definitely try and get a crappie today. It's definitely warm enough. Yesterday and today's definitely warmed it up some. You might be able to get a fish, a crappie. That's the one thing amazing about fish is it don't take much to get them active. It could change just a few degrees, and then all of a sudden they're biting. It can either change for the better or for the worse. So, like the first day I came out here to Prineville this year, I got a limit of trout. Since then, I have caught some fish, but not a limit of them. So. I definitely like catching me some crappies. They're delicious too. Delicious. Make sure you guys hit that like, comment, subscribe, and share. Yeah, it'll take I think it'll take more than just 2 days of warm weather to get them biting good, because I just don't feel like it's warm enough for them to be biting really all that good. But I mean, like a day like today when you've had back to back really nice days, tomorrow you might be able to come out and catch a crappie. It's just a slight warming trend can cause those warmer water fish to bite. So I'm not saying that they will bite, but I've seen it to where it's wintertime and nothing's biting for beans except for the trout, and then all of a sudden you get a couple warm days and then you're catching a few bass and a few crappies or whatever else might be out there, you know. So never underestimate a warming spell in wintertime. It can make a big change in how the fish are biting. Whether it gets warm or it gets cold, either one can turn them off or turn them off. Turn them on or turn them off. All right, we're going to go ahead and reel this in. Make an adjustment to the worm again. Well, we didn't make an adjustment last time. We just relocated it to a different spot. This time we're going to take half the worm off so that it'll float up off the bottom of the reservoir better and maybe increase our chances of getting bit. Now, some people would say, "Oh, you're doing too much. You're doing too much." I'm not doing too much. I'm doing what I have to try and get bit, you guys. So, all right, worm and fire eggs going out again. Ron, what's going on, man? Glad you could join us. Finally hit the bottom. And the fish are still jumping out there. So we'll see what happens. Maybe we'll get bit. I saw an article about the pike minnow and how much some people are making by catching. Yeah, some people can make a lot of money off of them pike minnow. For sure. And they go and they catch them and that's all they do. I know, right? 140,000. That's just insane for chasing a fish that's considered a nuisance. For sure. I don't know what I would do with $100,000 a year. $140,000 a year. That's a really good income just for chasing a fish. Yeah, you could buy a lot of decoys with that kind of dinero for sure. Them decoys aren't cheap you're making there, Ron. Sounds like there's a boat out there on the water. Yep, there goes the boat. Yeah, in 1 year too. Yeah, that's the crazy thing about it. Is they're catching them pike minnow and they're making their living doing it, and they're making that kind of money in a year fishing for a fish that they're not really a trash fish because they're native to the area, but with all the dams, it's caused them to overpopulate, and so now they're more of a nuisance for the salmon and steelhead smelt. So they want to get rid of them. They want to get rid of them. Yeah, I mean, I catch pike minnow all year round. I mean, I'm not usually intentionally fishing for them, but I catch pike minnow all year round. So, yeah, I have to work a regular job too. I mean, YouTube's nice, but it definitely don't pay the bills yet. And I don't know if it ever will pay the bills. If it does, great. If not, that's fine too. I'm gonna have fun fishing and enjoying life. Wow. Was not expecting that big old wave to be right there. I mean, I was expecting the waves to be there, but well, what I'm doing here is I'm floating the bait up off the bottom. So technically, I'm close to the bottom, but I'm not on the bottom. And so right now it's just I had it set up my first. Yeah, tsunami is right. Basically, what happened, what it is I have it set up this way. So I'll give it a few more minutes, and if it don't work out, then I'll go ahead and I'm gonna bobber, get it even further up off the bottom. So I'm not wanting to stay directly on the bottom. I want to stay close to the bottom though, with the way I'm fishing right now. Don't worry, I'm working on getting my bobber out there. Working on it, working on it. I'm only going to give it like another 7 minutes. What up, West Texas? I'm gonna give it about another 5 minutes with the on the bottom like that, and then I'm gonna switch to a bobber, I think. Because with a bobber, at least I can cover more area. Not yet this year, I haven't. I've been thinking about it though, for sure. Yeah, those are geese. Those are geese. Squawking, squawk, squawk, squawk. Geese. Geese. Yeah, Alex isn't here. I don't know if he's coming out today or not. He may be watching this video right now saying, he's not catching it and I don't want to go out today. Well, you never know. It could change in a split minute and then I'll be catching fish. You just never know. Nice, good stretch there. See, that goose is just right out there someplace. I can see him now. Now that I zoomed in, you see that? It's kind of distorted, but there's that goose, and then there's a couple more over this way that are even farther out that you really aren't going to be able to see. But there's one right there you guys can see. Yeah. You might be true on that one, Ron. You might be true on that one. You just never know. You just never know. I don't know where he come up with this stuff either, but hey, it's good fun entertainment. I guess so. I guess so. Just good fun entertainment. That's all that matters. All that matters. A little bit of a breeze has picked up a little bit. I just can't help it, still hit season. It can be a slow turn of events for catching fish, and then winter can be slow catching fish, Ron. It's just the way it is. But when they are biting, they are biting. When they're not, they're not. I got a nice fat fish yesterday. 28 degrees tomorrow. Wow. That's going to be pretty chilly for you guys there in Florida. 28 degrees. I don't know what the forecast is for tomorrow. I think it's going to be another warm day. We've not had much of a winter this year. It's been overly warm. Overly warm. And we have had like some cold days, but not a lot. Not what we need to successfully say we've had a winter. Fisherman Fur, good morning, good morning. How you doing? No fish yet, no bites yet. We're gonna get there though. We're gonna get there. They just stocked this place with some stalkers too, from what I'm told. Can't guarantee you anything, but that's what I'm told. Yeah. You're gonna hose down the hose down the driveway. Are you expecting to get some ice on the driveway because it's gonna be in the 20s down there? That way you can go ice skating on your driveway. We're gonna pull that worm in. We're gonna throw a bobber to worm for a little bit. More like cat sliding. Gotcha. We're gonna reel this one in, and we're gonna change it out again. Change again. All right, we're gonna get a worm on. Okay. You was reading about some places in Florida with the wind chill uh, getting close to 8 degrees. Wow, that's super cold for there. Yeah, I would say that would kill some pythons for sure. For sure, that would kill some pythons, I would think. No, I mean, my hands are still horrible. Man, I can't hardly cast. I can't hardly do nothing. I mean, it's pretty painful yet. I really don't want to be throwing um, I really don't want to be throwing a bobber because it's more work than baiting and waiting. But I want to catch fish too, so I'm trying to give myself more opportunities. So that means I got to make a few more casts than what I want to. Then I'm going to try it. I can't sleep at night right now. It's that bad. Yep, it'll be raining iguanas from the trees there in Florida. All right, worm and bobber's out. First cast, messed it up. Tonight is Mexico's Mexican stuffed pasta shells. Nice. Sounds like a good dinner. Tonight's going to be, I don't know what tonight's going to be for dinner. I really don't. But eventually I will. Eventually I will. All right. Try it again. Oh man, I'm not have no luck casting that bobber today. There has a breeze. A breeze has started picking up. So yeah, I think everybody tends to eat differently with different types of different times of the year. I think for sure. One thing for sure, G-Man, no fish for no fish for dinner for you. You're right on that, Ron. You're right on that. Ah. Well, yesterday I could have had dinner, but I chose to let the fish go. Today I haven't had no bites yet, but I mean, I'm still trying different things, trying to get them figured out. I just wish my right hand would heal up so I can stop being in so much discomfort. Fat Cat, what's going on, man? Glad you could join us on this slow day. Slow day so far. Trust is right. Trust the process. In due time, it always works. It always works in due time. It's 28, not going to do much, yeah. Unfortunately, the weather tends to turn some folks off from doing a whole lot. I don't blame them there, though. Here it's like in the 50s here. High 40s, early 50s, so it ain't too awfully bad. Not great, but it ain't bad. $50 tomorrow, so that means you'll be fishing by Saturday, right? You'll be in the 60s and you'll start fishing again and live streaming, huh? I miss those live streams from Fat Cat, man. He's entertaining. He gets that little barbie it out there as well. And then they fishing for catfish and carp and everything else. Oh yeah, I hear you on that, man. That cabin fever is nothing to mess with. Nothing to mess with, for sure. A record spec, huh? Man, I dream of catching them speckled trout, y'all. I see them caught on YouTube and stuff like that. Those speckled trout probably taste pretty good too, right? Heck yeah, best of luck to you. I want you to catch that record. Ain't nothing wrong with catching a record. Well, my goals are to start traveling more for YouTube. This year I've got a couple trips planned, but because of the surgery and stuff like that, the financial situation may not be able to travel this year. But I'm hoping I get to do those travels this year. Um, if not, we'll have to start next year. So, but at least I'll be able to do like the local traveling. I should be able to, go to Portland and fish in Portland a day or two, and go fish down with Blue, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to do the Washington thing though right now at this point, just because I don't know if I'm going to be able to afford another state license or not. But we'll find out soon enough. Everything keeps going well. Should be able to manage something this year, I think. But yeah, I'm going to make it to Louisiana at some point. My brother-in-law's from Louisiana, too. I want to be able to travel with my kayak, too. Some of the trips I want to take, I want to travel with my kayak in the back of my truck and be able to use that at different spots fishing. I don't know what's up with these trout this morning. They not wanting to cooperate. That's okay. We can always do something different here soon. Yep, it does happen, that's for sure. Slow days are bound to happen, for sure, for sure. Luckily, I don't give up on fish. The fish might give up on me, but I don't give up on them. My pursuit for the next bite is always on. Always on. I figured with the way they put fish in the waters, I figured I'd have a limit by now. Hasn't happened yet. What fish would I take with me, huh? Oh, man. That's a good question. What fish would you take with you, Blue? I would probably take... Oh, man, that's a good question. See, I have to pick wisely because there's like a toss-up between like 4 fish that I would take with me. And for different reasons, though. But for different reasons. So, I would have to say, if I was going to take one fish with me, and it was for eating and catching, wow, that's a hard question. Because there are fish I really like to catch but don't care for eating. But there are other fish I really like to eat but aren't as fun to catch as others. So it's like, it makes it pretty hard. I would have to go with probably, oh, this one's a hard one. That's a good question though. I would have to go with, catfish because they fight good and they're good eating too. Cause I can see myself eating catfish and catching them on a regular basis because 1, they're fun to catch. 2, they're pretty decent eating. Now, if I could pick one fish to catch and a different fish to eat the whole time, well then, hands down, I would say I would love to have the stillhead for catch abilities. For fish eating abilities, but for eating, I would have to go with a crappie, probably. But if I had to pick one for catching and eating, it'd be the catfish. Channel catfish. Oh yeah, well, I'll have to put that on my list of fish to catch and try to eat, I guess. For sure. Yeah, I know. I've never eaten fresh red snapper. Definitely have to try some. You guys catch them there in Louisiana, Ferg? From your kayak, nice. Yeah, definitely. I'm always looking. I'm always looking for you guys' content that I'm subscribed to. Always. It does make all the difference. Fresh fish definitely makes all the difference. That's for sure. That's for sure. I mean, it does make all the difference. It's like, it's like when you go someplace and you know you're not catching any fish and you just decide, well, I'm going to go to the store and get a fish, right? Just because I'm wishing for a fish so bad and the fish aren't biting and blah 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 yada yada yada. So you go to the store and they got farm raised fish and then they got wild fish. The wild fish is always going to taste better than the farm raised fish. My wife learned that the hard way. I told her not to eat the farm fresh fish, and she wouldn't listen. She found out real quick that farm raised is not as good as wild fish. Makes a big difference. I catch my fair share of fresh fish for sure. Ferg, you should come out here to Oregon sometime and catch a steelhead or a salmon. That's pretty fun. I imagine you would enjoy that. Apocalypse Prophet. What's going on? There's some good farm fish, but it only comes from far away, and it never gonna be as good as wild. That's very true. That's very true. Never gonna be as good as wild for sure. That's true. So true. Once the oil start going back that bad, that's true. Don't taste as good. Yep, that's so true. Yep, they get dyed orange to try to make it look like it's try to make it look better. For sure, for sure. Wild's always gonna taste better. Big old blue crane hair flying right there. Yeah, it's true. It does make a big difference what you feed them as well. Back to questions. Heavy dye you can get better color, but even with wild fish, I personally prefer wild trout out of cold. Yeah, wild fish definitely tastes better, especially trout. I spoil my in-laws with fresh fish. Yeah, nothing wrong with spoiling people with fresh fish, that's for sure. Um, Rivers over wild lake trout, I think, just to the using their muscles more in current. Yeah, they do use their muscle more in current, for sure. Keeps them active. Keeps them active. Nope, I've never eaten a Copper River sockeye salmon. That good, huh? If Blue says it's good, it's probably good. He likes to fish. Someday, I'm gonna catch some fish. Someday. Hopefully today. I may have to go over to the other spot, but I can't live stream from there because I don't have good enough service. I'll give this a little longer. A little longer. Copper River salmon is known for as the best in the world. 100 bucks for a steak, not a fillet, just a steak. Wow, that sounds pretty expensive. Are they selling gold sockeye? I want gold sockeye. $100 for a steak. Wow, insane, insane in the membrane. Starting to get a little colder now. Wind blowing straight at me. Sun's hiding behind the clouds. Starting to get a little chilly. "300-mile journey the Copper River salmon takes." They say that helps the meat become nice and firm, huh? And who knows really how long of a journey it is, because they go from a river to the ocean. Okay, how far out in the ocean do they go? Where do they go then they come back? Really, how do they know how long of a journey it is? Granted, the river's probably 300 miles, maybe, I don't know. But for the fact that the ocean is like so big, they could go anywhere. They could go to Japan for all we know, and then come back. I doubt they're going to go to Japan, but maybe Russia. Definitely could go to Alaska. Steelhead and salmon in the Snake River travel over 1,000 miles. What an interesting journey that is. That is an interesting journey, over 1,000 miles. I want to go fish the Snake River. I haven't done it yet though. I want to go fish the Snake River. I want to go up there for 3 or 4 days to Snake River and fish that. Catch some sturgeon and steelhead and crappie and catfish. Maybe even some bass out of there. The Snake River, I'm told, that has you can fill buckets, or you can fill coolers full of catfish and crappie, and sounds like one of those trips to where you got to have like 5 coolers to fill up and bring home. Of course, I don't know why anybody would keep that much fish. I don't think you could process that many fish, you know. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. Cause I'm not so much a salmon guy, but I'm a steelhead guy, and I love spending my time chasing steelhead. Don't get me wrong, I chase salmon too, but my cup of tea is definitely steelhead. The way they fight, the way they jump, they're just one of those fish that are just amazing, you know. Yep, they might make a return trip. That's true. When I think about kings, I don't think about Chinook salmon. When I think the king of the rivers, I think of the steelhead because it goes from the ocean or from the freshwater to the ocean, and if nobody kills it in the freshwater or in the saltwater, it can go back out to the saltwater. John Joe, what's going on? Yeah, huh? Well, warm water steelhead. Wow. You know that kind of. I mean, I kind of can understand that because, like the John Day River, it gets warm, and still had travel up that. So, uh, it a double fish, like a striped bass. Yeah, like a striped bass. They do too. Yep, for sure, for sure. Yep, striped bass and salmon steelhead. They're all fish that go from freshwater to saltwater. The striped bass and the steelhead can go from fresh to salt to fresh, and then back again. So cool. The life and journey of a freshwater slash saltwater fish has got to be totally amazing for them. Totally. They go upstream, yep. Up the streams. Now, do the striped bass, do they spawn in the fresh water? Is that why they're going up the rivers and stuff? Or do they just, is it just the way they are? Because I know the salmon and steelhead, they're coming up. Gotcha. Like most of those freshwater, saltwater things, they're spawning. Yeah, get your gear gathered up and go get you a steelhead, man. I know I want to go chasing another steelhead. I just can't do it right now. I gotta wait. You have a fake salmon run. Well, what's a fake salmon run is what I'm trying to figure out. Is it because they go like from a stream to a lake and then back to the stream, or is that what? Oh, I got you. So you must be what, in the Great Lakes area or something? Because to me, they're doing the exact same thing that a saltwater run would do. So they're not fake. They're not fake fish. I mean, they're real. They're doing exactly the same thing a saltwater run salmon or steelhead would do. I don't think it's fake at all. I wish they'd introduce some of those what you're calling fake salmon to our neck of the woods and steelhead. I know, right? So yeah, I don't know how they can call them a fake. Yeah, that's true. They shouldn't be there. It's kind of like the crappies and the bass and the catfish and the bluegills. They shouldn't be here either. They're not native to this state, but they're here, and they're here in numbers. So we just take the time to go out and catch them and enjoy them, and just because they're there. Of course, I like to eat crappies and bass and bluegill, catfish, so it makes it worthwhile for me. Mm-hmm. Yeah, some days ice fishing is going to be way too cold. I think you should give it a go anyways. Well, that ain't bad. I mean, it's still really cold. -10 is still really cold, but it's warmer than the last time you went out. Might as well go out and try it for a little while, and if it's too uncomfortable, you can always go back home. I think I'm going to get off this live stream in about 5 minutes, and then I'm going to go chasing fish because it's easier for me to chase fish if I'm not live streaming. So I can always get it on my GoPro. But I think as soon as it hits 10:30 our time, I'm going to go ahead and call a live stream and go chasing fish. I know that's not a lot of time left, but I have been live streaming for a while today. And then probably go live again later on today. Because Saturdays, if I can live more than once a day, I will. Well, I'll chase them all around the reservoir. I'll either go further east on the reservoir, or I'll go to the dam or something. And I just can't. I don't have I don't have the service to live stream anymore at the other spot. So that's why I come here to this spot to live stream on Saturdays when I do fish Prineville Reservoir, because I got service here. So I'll chase them here. And really, when I chase them here, I'm just trying to see if there's some here. And if not, then I'll live stream for a little bit, and then I'll get off here, and then I'll go chasing fish, and I'll just catch the rest on the chesty, so that if I get anything, you guys get to see the action in a video later on. Ready for that 3-hour nap, y'all? I am. Two minutes. And we're gonna get out of here, you guys. The one thing nice about fishing here is there's another reservoir not too far away. If I need to go chasing fish, I can always go to the other reservoir, which is Ochiko Reservoir. I went to Haystack yesterday, and I caught one really nice fish yesterday. So. All right, you guys. You know what time it is. All right, you guys. Remember to catch, kiss, and release. So fish once in a while. It ensures a future fishery for all. Until next time, this is G-Man fishing, and gotta wait for it to hit 10:30, and then we can say out. It's almost there. We are out.